We have some unprecedented poll numbers here about the 2016 election. The Hill explains a strong majority of Democrats would cancel the 2016 presidential election between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump if it meant President Obama could serve another term. Data provided to The Hill by the conservative polling outlet WPA Research found that 67% of Democrats would take a third term for Obama over a potential Clinton administration. Only 28% said they're ready to move on from the Obama White House, while 6% are undecided. Okay, now, you can take this with a grain of salt because, like I said, conservative polling outlet, WPA Research, I'd view this the same as I view a Rasmussen poll, for example. Skewed a little bit to the right, you can say, or a Fox News poll. But is there something here? Are they getting at something? Yes, they're certainly getting at something. And that something is not even necessarily, oh my God, we love Obama so much. No, that something is, what have we gotten ourselves into? It's going to be either Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. So this more speaks to how much Democrats, but the American people in general, dislike Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Now, with Obama, he's a mixed bag. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm super upset with him and annoyed with him because in so many ways he abandoned progressive principles and he stopped being liberal, and he also just concedes the Republicans over and over and over. And that's his downside. His downside is also he's a center-right corporatist Democrat, so he does, to a large extent, sell out to Wall Street, and there's multiple examples of that. But on the flip side, there are instances where he's done a decent job, and we should give him credit when he does a decent job. So, for example, I give him credit for Obamacare. Now, I wanted single-payer. We had a supermajority at the time. We could have got it if he knew how to twist arms and play politics, and if he really wanted it. But we didn't get it, so I'm upset about that. But still, Obamacare is a step in the right direction. We needed some kind of reform. And honestly, any reform would have fixed our pathetic system and made it better than what it was before. So I give him credit for Obamacare. At the very least, you could say he gets a half check mark for that because it's better than getting no reform. But then there's other things too. So the Iran deal, for example, agree with that 100%. He cuts off their path to a nuclear weapon, moves us closer to peace. The Cuba deal, for example, that's great. We've been super anti-Cuba for the longest time, and it's done nothing except embolden the communist regime that they have. And by the way, now that we opened up the lines of communication, guess what? We covered a story recently. Cuba is going to legalize what they call micro businesses. So now we might all laugh at that. Oh, haha. So they're taking a little baby step in the direction of opening up the economy and having some free markets. But yeah, I think that's a step in the right direction. I think that's good. I don't think that's something to scoff at. This is an area where you could say, thanks, Obama, and actually mean it. Other things, he's gradually released nonviolent drug offenders. Now, he doesn't go far enough. I would release them all like that. But, he hasn't done that, but he has done something, and he is moving us in the right direction. There are other examples of him tweaking some of the labor laws and raising the minimum wage for people who get federal government contracts. And so, I don't want to downplay the good that's done under Obama because there are many areas where we can point to and we could say, well, that's obviously better than if we had a Republican in office. But that being said, yes, in some areas he's let us down, and in some areas he's kind of a typical corporatist Democrat, like, for example, he's pushing for the TPP, which would be a disaster for the middle class in America. Yes, he's been right on social issues, but, that's kind of Democrat 101 ideology is, okay, we'll be good on all the social issues so that half the time we can fuck you over on the economic issues. But either way, what this shows you is, Obama's actually doing way, 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 way better than most presidents do at this point in their presidency. It's true. It is. George W. Bush had, a 20-something percent, 30% approval rating? Obama's got a 56% approval rating. That's almost unheard of for a president at this point in their term. So, yeah, I guess you give a little credit to Obama for where he's at here, and the people say, yeah, I guess I'm kind of comfortable with it, even though they do still want massive fundamental change. They want universal health care. They want universal education. They want money out of politics. Look at the polls on this stuff, crystal clear. But overall, they're like, I think he is better than Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. And on that point, do I agree with the people in the poll? Oh, absolutely. I do think Obama is a little bit to the left of Hillary Clinton on the political spectrum. I do think Hillary Clinton, even though she says, I'll continue Obama's legacy, yada, yada, I do think she'd be a little bit to the right of him, specifically on foreign policy. And he hasn't even been great on foreign policy. So this idea that she'd be to the right of him on that is kind of disastrous. He's done 7 interventions. I mean, we have special ops troops on the ground in Iraq, for example. We're still in Afghanistan to this day. You know, the drone war gets 90% the wrong people, according to internal drone memos. So, it's not like this guy's a peacenik. I grant you that Obama does more of it's a gross term to even use, but he does more soft imperialism. So, namely, you do drone strikes, you do standard traditional air warfare, bombing missions and stuff like that. In some places, you put special ops forces on the ground. That's the soft imperialism. The neoconservatives are like, let's just fucking ground invade everywhere. Fuck it. Balls to the wall. Let's do it. So that's what they want. That's way worse. Hillary's kind of in the middle between the two. Or if anything, she probably leans more towards just the neocon position. In fact, many prominent neocons have come out and endorsed her in this election. So I think that it really is telling that the American people, usually at a time when they despise whatever president is in office at this point in their term, they're like, yeah, that guy is almost certainly better than Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. That's true, and that's really sad, and that shows you something about the nature of our system and how it almost always serves us an option of the lesser of two evils.